Hey everyone, this is Black Binder, and I am back. I was supposed to be back this Saturday, but we had about 7 inches of snow, so I had to postpone that because I also do snow removal. But we are back. This is 1.7 at least. It might have gotten an update since then. It's been out for a decent amount of time, I think like 2 months. But we are playing the Necromancer. I will finish the Possessor run through, but I couldn't wait to play the new Necromancer. I have tried him out a little bit. But as you can see, he's got many paths to victory, many builds. So what we're going to do this time is I'm going to go Caster and Skeleton Master. You can also do Ghouls as well, but I have an issue with the Ghouls because they only last for a certain amount of time, and I really hate it. I think it's 8 or 9 turns once you get it maxed out. But let's go ahead and start looking at our abilities. Call of the Crypt. Call upon the battlefields of old, collecting bones, fusing them with souls, and forging them into skeletal minions. Oh yeah, one more thing. I don't know a perfect build for this. I'm just going to do what looks good the first time through. I haven't tested really anything for efficacy. So if you have a better build, just let me know. This is kind of the... I've not read in chat or anything about a consensus for any builds. So this is all my opinion on really my first full run through of the game with the new Necromancer. Alright, up to 1 skeleton warriors of level 1 are summoned, and up to 1 skeletons can be controlled at once. At level 3, the summons become armored skeleton warriors. At level 5, for every 3 skeleton warriors, a skeleton mage or archer will also be created without costing any souls. If this makes you go over your skeleton limit, a normal skeleton will be removed and its soul refunded. So basically you get 3, I'm guessing 3 or 4 skeletons and 1 archer or mage. Let's at least look at the ghoul tree. Call of the Mausoleum. You control dead matter around you, leering in the ground? Leering in the ground? Either lying in the ground or leering in the ground. I don't know what leering means. Decaying. When you enter combat, and every 29 turns thereafter, a ghoul of level 1 automatically raises to fight for you. At level 3, you can forcefully activate this spell to summon up to 1 ghast around you. At level 5, every 4 summoned ghouls or ghasts, a ghoul king is summoned for free. And they last for 5 turns, which obviously increases the more points you put into it. Alright, the Dread. I think I am going to use it. I think I am going to use this one this time around. The descriptions of them are funny, but I don't think its actual usability is very high. Summon a Dread of level 1 that will annoyingly blink around, hexing your foes. It knows the following spells: Burning Hex at level 1, Empathic Hex at level 1, Pacification Hex at level 1, Blur Sight at level 3, and Phase Door at level 1. So basically, it's the Corruptor's Hex tree, but you shouldn't have to... The worst thing about hexes on a Corruptor is that you have to cast them, you waste the turn. So this should fix that, but the downside is you can't choose where it goes, and with Burning Hex and Empathic Hex, and Pacification Hex, you really want them to be targeted well. I guess Pacification Hex would be fine to go anywhere because it just dazes everything in an AoE, but we'll see. I will get that eventually. Let's see if we have enough points for it. Invoke Darkness conjures up a beam of darkness, doing 38 darkness damage. At level 5, the beam widens to hit foes on each side. So at level 5, it's a 3 by 10 beam. And then, so we'll be getting that up all the way. Black Eyes, you got to watch out for those dirty black eyes. If anybody watches Key and Peele. Summon an Icy Spike directly on a foe, impaling it for 53 cold damage. At level 5, it hits all foes in a range 1 around the target. Any creature hit will take 12% more damage from your necrotic minions for 3 turns. Now, if you're going skeletons, I think that 12% more damage is actually pretty good, but I don't know how well it will work with ghouls, because it seems a lot of their damage comes from the dots they add, and I don't know if that higher damage actually works with it. So, Chill of the Tomb is the big one we want, but we can't get there just yet. Heimdall Shield. This one conjures shield of ice around you that can absorb a total of 70 damage. Anytime it does It retaliates by sending a bolt of ice at the attacker, dealing 9 cold damage. This can only happen once per turn per creature. When you are above 1 life, it only affects 66.6% of the damage, letting through the rest. I actually kind of like it when it doesn't do 100% of the damage, because it like smooths the damage spikes for a longer period of time. If it's 100%, somebody just hits you and it gets used up all in one turn. When you are under 1 life, it affects 100% of the damage and also reduces the damage of criticals by 13%. 10 turns after leaving combat, the shield will consume its mana and soul cost again to fully regenerate if needed. If that cost cannot be matched, it unsustains. Now that's my issue with it, because at least it might be because I use Omnibus, but it just seems like that when I right click to automatically restart the sustain, it seems like I always run out of souls. I think it's broken with Omnibus, but that might have been fixed. So I'll float a point in it and try it out to see, because it is the effects are good, but it's just I always find myself without souls when I use it and use auto rest or auto explore and auto rest. Each time, soul leech. Each time you or your undead minions deal damage to a creature, you apply soul leech to them. If a creature dies with this effect active, you steal its soul. Strong creatures and bosses are so overflowing with soul power that you steal a fragment of their soul every few turns. So this will obviously need. It also increases your soul capacity. Rigor Mortis. Press your advantage when your foes are starting to crumble. For every detrimental effect on the target, you deal 73 frost dusk damage, which is frost and darkness, with diminishing returns, and reduces its global speed by 25% for 1 turn per effect, up to a maximum of 1, which obviously goes up to 4 at 2 out of 5, so pretty big increase. The diminishing returns on damage bonus works this way: 2 effects, 106 damage, 5 effects, 150, 15 effects, 202. So I'm not sure. I think this is more of a ghoul thing, because the ghouls are the ones that apply detrimental effects, like a bunch of diseases, but we'll see. For now, let's go with the Majeyal shield and at least try it out. Actually, you know what? No. Let's go with more points into Invoke Darkness, because that's really the only thing we're going to be using early on. The skeletons, they're not good enough or quick enough, and everything dies so quickly. Invoke Darkness is really your bread and butter early on, and later, but less so. Alright, I went with a Thalor just for the all resistance, and then more summons, and then also I really like Gift of the Woods. I thought it was terrible when it was on the higher, but it's actually not too bad. It's better if you are will. Actually, no, it says Constitution now. I don't know if that was changed, but anyway, let's read it. Call upon nature to regenerate your body for 14 life every turn and increase healing mod by 15% for 8 turns. The life healed will increase with your willpower or Constitution. So it used to be if you had a lot of willpower, I don't think Constitution, but anyway, the life gained every turn actually gets pretty decent, and the increased healing mod is fine too. But mostly, I don't know which race to go for a Necromancer, and I didn't want to just choose Shalor, which is what I choose with all casters. So I went with Thalor instead. Alright, Blurred Mortality. The line between life and death blurs for you. You can only die when you reach a negative 112 life, but your maximum life is reduced by 57. So basically, you gain 112 life, negative life, but you lose half of that in your actual life. But that's okay, because you get a lot of bonuses when you're below 1 life. When you are below 1 life, you gain 7% to all resistances. The life amount is based on your Constitution attribute. Just because you gain a lot of bonuses when you're below 1 life, it's still not a good practice to purposely try to be below 1 life. Taking on a spectral form, you teleport to the target tile within 5 range. This is good. Ghost Walk. For 3 turns after using this spell, you gain the ability to instantly teleport back to your original tile as long as you are within range of it. So that's pretty good. It's kind of like the Necromancer portal from World of Warcraft. So what do we got here? Let's go ahead and summon our skeleton. I don't think they disappear at all anymore. That's why I didn't like the ghouls, because it really just felt like it was the same problem as before. My pets were dying when I didn't want them to, not from damage, just from expiring. And with the skeletons, it's really nice because they don't. They stay with you until they're killed. Obviously, the first zones are really easy. I am playing on Insane, I think. Oh, God. Am I? Let me check. It's been a while since I started a game. I always forget how to check without unsupported character sheet. Too old. Well, whatever. We're probably on Insane. If not, I'll run up another one later. But I'm fairly certain we are. Remember, you can no longer drown citizens or anything like that. So really the only thing you can do in the beginning is just go fight. But in the first area, you won't find any rand bosses unless you open up a digestive sac or maybe a chest. I don't think chests do it either. But you do the main issue when you are doing beginning areas, now that you can't drown citizens, is that vaults are actually very dangerous, especially in the Rayloran camp, and then in is it Rayloran camp, and then in Corpool, the assassins, if they poison you once, pretty much you're dead. It's 110 something damage over 3 turns or something like that, and it's just, unless you have a heal, then you're pretty screwed. And even if, I mean the heal infusion, not just any type of heal, because I'm fairly certain those poisons reduce the effectiveness of your healing, but don't quote me on that. It's been so long since I had to worry about early vaults outside of Rayloran camp. I just kind of blow through everything in the beginning right now. Mountain, it's physical resistance and physical damage. Physical resistance is decent, so I'm taking it, and plus I don't have anything else. This is probably the worst ring. Maximum encumbrance plus 20 and fatigue minus 5%. Alright, this gives us spell save, this gives us fatigue and encumbrance, so crap and crap. This gives us at least 1 defense, so we might as well take it. Early on, your defense is decent enough to actually maybe dodge a couple things. I did actually try recording this, what was it, like 3 weeks ago, but while I was recording, I think my hard drive ran out of space, and it stopped recording halfway through, so I was just like, well, shit. Alright, I'm going to tell them to wait a few turns. I'm going to move them back. I'm trying to get my skeleton over here in front, so he takes the brunt of this stupid bear. Now remember, even if my life is going down, it looks like I'm almost dead, but really, I'm not even halfway dead. But still, like I said before, I don't like being below 0 life. Even if it is technically better for you to be, I don't know that it is, but I don't imagine it is. I'm still not going to let myself get under 0 life if I can help it. Alright, Sun Paladin. What are we going to take from him? We might just take... No, we'll take a chant. I was going to say, now that they give 5 stats per, I might take magic, but let's go with chant of fortitude, I think? No, we want the life. Alright, you chant the glory of the sun, granting you 7 mental save and increasing your maximum life by 11%, currently 8. But we will be taking constitution, so this one will scale a little bit better than this one. This one gives me 3% physical damage resistance, 7 physical save, 3 armor, and 15 hardiness. I used to take this one every single time, but I also, for whatever reason, I liked getting armor hardiness at 100, which really isn't necessary, because it's going to be capped out long before, or the dangerous hits are going to be capped out before you need 100% hardiness anyway. Alright, we are level 5 now, since we killed that boss, Norgol, or Norgos. We leveled up pretty quickly. But, since we came into this level at level 3, the monsters are still only level 3. You can do that, I like to do that with, it's level locking. You used to be able to level lock an entire area, but now you can only level lock like one zone. So the only real place I like to use it on is Urkus, and the lowest you can level lock him is like level 26. I went in there, I think, right at level 13 just to see, because he's so necessary for the Rune of Dissipation. I wanted to make him as easy as possible, but he was still level 25 or 26, something like that. Alright, so first things first, we want to get Invoke Darkness up to level 5, but it only takes 4 out of 5 to get to that point. So let's go ahead and do that. It is now doing 80 darkness damage. It will get better as we go on. It's not going to stay at 80 damage. As we get better gear, I mean. Call of the Crypt. You know what? Let's just max out our magic and then put some in. I normally, before 1.6, I would go strength and get heavy armor, but I do need 16 strength so I can wear, oh geez, what is it? Heavy helmets and gloves and boots, but I'm gonna stick with robes this time. I want to see there's enough stats on robes to where the itemization you spend trying to get those stats elsewhere, just use it on the robe and then get your armor and armor hardiness from something else. You still lose out on the crit shrug of heavy armor, but again, it's hard to parse whether that's worth it or not. I honestly don't know. Shattered Remains. Anytime one of your skeleton or bone giant dies, it shatters in a radius 1, making any foe bleed for 53 physical damage over 5 turns. If any other skeleton or bone giant minion is in the radius, it will pick up some of the bones to enhance itself, increasing maximum and current life by 41, armor by 7, and gain 8.33 physical melee retaliation for 20 turns. This talent never works when you kill your own minions, so you can't purposely try to do it. They tried to take a lot of the tediousness out of the Necromancer, so I'm guessing that's why they put it on there, because you could do that, but if you were allowed, then that would be almost necessary. Alright, let's go ahead and get Call of the Crypt up to 4 out of 5-2, which gives us an effective talent level of 5.2. Alright, so that gives us level 7 skeleton warriors. It gives us 2 of them, and we can control up to 4 skeletons at once. So that means we should be able to get 4 skeleton warriors, armored skeleton warriors, and a mage or archer. I still prefer the mage, but the archer isn't bad either. Alright, Across the Veil. As you learn to tiptoe across the veil of death, you learn to master the dark forces. Each time you cross the 1 life threshold, you automatically unleash a blast of 73 frost dust damage in a radius of 2. For each creature that takes damage from the blast, one of your talent cooldowns is reduced by 3 turns. Okay, we'll go ahead and take one of it. I like the talent cooldown, and you will go below 0 enough to make it worth it. Alright, Spectral Sight. While in your spectral form from Ghost Walk, and for 2 turns afterwards, you gain vision of all enemies within a radius of 8, which is really nice. In addition, at all times, you gain the ability to sense undead within 11 tiles and can perceive any foe within 1 tiles of your necrotic minions. Okay, it's the perceiving any foe by your minions that we really want here, because if you can get it up to 3, it's basically, you can pretty much see everywhere that your minions can see, because they're going to rush towards the enemies. They'll usually be within 3 tiles of the enemy. So that's what I like to take it up to, at least 3 out of 5, but even more so because I like vision. And this is vision. You don't have to cast it. You don't have to do anything. It's just you can always see within your minions' tiles. All right, let's go ahead and do one more in Blurred Mortality. The Diminishing Returns hits it pretty hard, but I think we can get it to 3 out of 5 before that's an issue. All right, check out our Invoke Darkness now. Look at that thing. That is awesome. All right, let's get out of here. Let's turn this on to darkness just in case it isn't. I'm pretty sure it is, but I don't remember. All right, Healing Infusion 72, 12 cooldown. We might be better than ours. This is pretty crappy, but we'll grab it anyway. This has healing mod, so we'll take it. All right. I took some gauntlets. They only have 3% darkness damage on it, but it's better than nothing. I can't wear them yet, though. I need to go buy training, which I do not have enough money for, do I? Let's see. Costs 50, I believe. Yeah, so we don't have enough money yet. So let's go ahead and go to, we're level 5, so, but as a Necromancer, we should be able to, especially with Call of the Dead, or Call of the Crypt, we should be able to take these guys pretty easily. I usually avoid going in here right after the first dungeon because some classes just can't handle it, especially the second guy with his daze into a stun. He'll charge you and then repulse you or stun you. Just very annoying. Alright, did we get anything? Usually you don't. Iron War Axe of Projection, that's not terrible, but not something that we need. Let's check if they have a... Nope, nothing. I was looking for a Lantern of Health, but they didn't have one. Alright, Movement Infusion. We do want that. But it's 54, so... You don't want to... Ghost Walk is nice, but you also want a Movement Infusion. That has not changed. Alright, let's go into Corpool. I know I said to avoid the vaults, but I'm not going to because I can't. I just always have to do them. There could be something in there that I want. Alright, let's put one more point into Blurred Mortality. Let's raise up our magic some more. Then put 2 more points into Spectral Sight. I would put more into Ghost Walk, but 5 is enough for what I need it for. For anything more than 5, I'd probably rather use a Movement Infusion and duck around a corner. Alright, we can get Chill of the Tomb now or Consume Soul. I'm going to get... Chill of the Tomb is really good, but this early on, 4 out of 5 Invoke Darkness should be enough damage, and Consume Soul is great for a... like if you need an emergency heal. I don't like using it as a first resort because it takes a full turn, but it also restores mana, so look at that. He hit me once and I was below 5, or I was below 0 life. We've got 62 maximum life. That's hilarious. And negative 170 negative life. This guy is a Necromancer. They're hard to kill. Alright. Should be pretty easy. We're not level 10 yet. I think that's when Rand bosses start spawning. I actually had never noticed until someone pointed it out to me. Not on my last dive into Tome, but the time before. Let me out. Alright, there we go. Alright. If there were 2 mages here, I'd back up, but there's not. I can take at least 1 hit from him. But then there were a bunch of projectiles in the air, so that was cause to back up. See, mostly in the beginning, with pretty much any class that you can find a beam spell on, or that has a beam spell, that's what most of the beginning is just hitting space and using your beam spell. The only thing you want to watch out for is, which I do all the damn time, is it's very easy, so I'll hit space when I shouldn't, and I'll just straight up die. It's usually on a Necromancer or some kind of skeleton mage. Alright. Here we go, Skeleton Mage, but we should be okay. If you were really worried, because he is a higher level because it's the Vault. So let's check out his talents. Arcane Mana Thrust is the issue. 94 arcane damage. We can survive one of those, but let's also might as well do a wild, which will lower the damage even more. If he does use Flame Bolt, we won't be able to clear it, but it really doesn't do that much damage. Although that one is. My guys don't know how to get in the damn vault. See, we can see the undead, which is nice. But not a huge boon. I prefer the spectral sight, being able to see through my minions. Alright, now, if you can tell, our minions were getting pretty beat up there, even though it's 4 out of 5. And they will eventually get pretty much torn apart, but they buy you quite a bit of time, and you can summon more than one. So, like your action economy, you are gaining turns, usually, if you're playing smart, by summoning minions. Like, you're summoning body blockers that give you time to do stuff safely. So even if they die very quickly, I'm okay with that. They're still doing their job. This gives me healing mod, so I'm going to put it on the belt. This really doesn't give me anything that I need, but it's better than the one I have, so. Same with these. Oh, nope, this gives me 60 mana. That's nice. Don't need any of these. Check out these. We got 7 critical strike chance, which is much better than ours. So we'll put it on, and don't forget to change your element. I still haven't gotten over that. Being below, like, my hit point bar is so low. But I'm more than okay because I haven't even taken half of my life yet. I know we have some level up points we need to use, but I'm almost at level 8, so let's hold off. Alright, now we can get these if we have enough magic. Once you're done maxing out magic and you have enough strength to get whichever amount of heavy armor you want, then you start putting it into Constitution because your skills actually grow off of Constitution, which is nice to have a class that actually uses it outside of Alchemist. Alright. Verdant. Thaloran have an affinity for natural elements, allowing them to heal for a portion of damage taken from them. You gain 25% nature and acid damage affinity. That's crap. Damage affinity sucks for pretty much most situations. There are times you can use it, but it's not going to stop you from getting one shot. So it's not even defense. It's healing after the fact. It's basically auto healing, which is good, but not in a game where your main issue is getting pretty much one shot out of nowhere. Rune Skin. I will get it for the next points, but not yet. Rune Skin. As you continue to attune your body to undeath, you reject nature as a whole. As long as you have no natural infusion on your skin, each rune on it increases your minimum negative life by -10 and your spell critical chance by 1.1%. We have infusions right now, and I don't know if we're going to go lich or not, so we'll see. Actually, we're definitely going lich, but there's no point in getting that just yet because we can't use it. While in your spectral form from Ghost Walk and for two turns afterwards, damage and detrimental effects have an 11% chance to harmlessly pass through you. I wish it were for damage, like 11% more damage reduction, because I hate evading an attack. I would rather mitigate the damage than just evade it. But, oh well. Let's go ahead and get Verdant, I guess. Because this is to the point where we're only getting about, let's look, it goes from 183 to 205, so that's 22. But on the other side, our maximum health is reduced by 9. So 22 minus 9, you're only getting like 11% or 11, 12 hit points out of it, and 1% all resistance. So at this point, it's not worth it until we can get more Constitution to make it scale better. Excuse me. All right, Shattered Remains, Assemble. I don't really need any of these two. Assemble gives you a Bone Giant, but we don't need that until we get to Lord of Skulls. Lord of Skulls is what we want. So let's go ahead and start pumping up Chill of the Tomb. Let's look at Torture Souls. Unleash dark forces to all foes in sight that are afflicted by Soul Leech, dealing 90 Frost Dusk damage to them and tearing apart their souls. This returns up to 1 soul to you for 1 for each foe hit. So this is a good way if you're out of souls and you got a bunch of like trash minions around. This can be a way to get back some decent souls, but it needs a bunch of points to get more than just a minimum amount of souls. So we're not going to get that just yet. Just going to go Chill of the Tomb for now. And then we want Chill of the Tomb to be 3. This is going to be our big bomb spell. But Invoke Darkness is still our bread and butter because it's instant. Chill of the Tomb does a lot of damage, but you can't count on it because it's not instant. There are ways around that, like I need to hit this guy and say he was going to kill me next turn unless I got the Chill of the Tomb off. Just aim it right next to you, and it won't. It'll go off instantly. Basically, it travels far enough to go off instantly. A Mind Slayer or something over here. Nope, Psy Shot. I saw some kind of Mind Slayer shield and freaked out. Oh yeah, let's read Chill of the Tomb real quick, just because it's a little different now and much better. Conjures up a bolt of cold that moves toward the target and explodes into a chilly circle of death, doing 105 cold damage in a radius of 3. Necrotic minions caught in the blast do not take damage, but are instead coated with a thin layer of ice, reducing all damage they take by 14 for 4 turns. So, no longer a friendly damage, which is friggin' awesome. That was the main issue with it before, is that it would hit you and it would hit your minions too. And the thing was, it didn't even matter if you maxed out your cold resistance, because to get Chill of the Tomb to do any decent damage, you also have to max out your penetration, your cold penetration, so you penetrate your own damn resistances. Alright, I can't move. Somebody's pacifying me. Oh, it's a Doombringer, I think. Now, if you run into a Doombringer that you can't kill, which is likely because they're very difficult to kill, they Wraith form. And they will Wraith form more than they have the oxygen for. So basically you just keep running from them and getting them to Wraith form through the wall, and then eventually they'll suffocate. Alright, we're going to do Chill of the Tomb first. That did not kill them. You do not want to be diseased by these ghouls. You don't want to be diseased by vault ghouls this early, especially if you don't have any way to cleanse the disease, because they literally last for 20-some turns, and you will die. Okay, going down to the next level. Oh, all these are all going to be around 25 to 35 minutes long, these videos. We'll see how well I can stick to that. I never do. This is a straight upgrade our stat to our staff. Dim Thorn. 5% darkness penetration, but that's really not very much. I'd rather have 20 life at this point in the game. Oh, here we go. 60 life and 16 mana. That is awesome. No, nothing. Supercharged Elm Wand of the Lightning Storm. We don't have any, but I really like that wand, because it can daze people. See, first one and it dazed them already, and it does decent damage. Like not a ton, but in an AOE you can get quite a bit of decent damage. Am I pacified again? I think that was a Corruptor. So Corruptors are one enemy that as a Necromancer you need to watch out for, because they have high damage. If they crit you, which they have an increased chance to do, it's going to hurt. And in a lot of cases it can just kill you outright. Let's see here. If anybody was curious, I have about 45 lawns or 45 driveways that I do for snow removal, and literally every time I do it, I feel like my body's dying because it's so fucking tiring. Why is it tiring if you plow snow? I don't plow snow. I snow blow it because plows are dangerous. And for whatever reason, older people hate plows. They think it scratches their concrete, which it can. But just to avoid all that nonsense, I use a snow blower, which is fairly cheap if you ever wanted to get in on that. But last year it only snowed 3 times, so it's definitely not something that you can count on for money. Alright, this guy, depending on what class you are, this guy is the easier boss. The only thing you got to watch out for is he has a really hard-hitting freeze attack that he almost always uses first. But I don't know if they fixed the ice block damage formula, but it was at the point where it was way too high, basically. Like you'd get, like he could put on a 500 damage ice block on you. And it was just impossible to break out in the 10 turns that you had. So if you couldn't clear it, then he can be very rough. And then also it just does a decent amount of damage. All right, we can go ahead and get rid of all this. We are actually going to switch. This is decent. I haven't switched the damage type yet. 6 spell power, 8% crit chance, and 15% damage. Also, the 4 armor is not bad. But Chorus Fall, this gives us about the same spell power and crit chance, a little bit less percentage damage, but it also gives us Bone Spear, which is 108 physical damage in a line. So now we basically have 2 line spells, which is awesome. When I would do a caster Shadow Blade before they nerfed stealth, hold on just a second. Do you guys try to follow any kind of rules on organizing your hotbar between characters? Yes, I always do. I usually put my damage stuff first, then my buffs that I use every fight, then my heals and stuff. It's easier if you redo the hotkeys to be around your dominant hand. Like I use WASD for movement, and then I use R, F, V, and others for buffs. Alright. Ooh, we got a random artifact that we will not be able to use because it's heavy armor. Let's see if it's any good though. Darkness penetration, decent armor, and decent stats, but no, we wouldn't have used it anyway. Because it also takes, what, 35 strength? We will never have that. Here we go. This is good. 22 life, so the same as our other one. 6% darkness damage and 15% darkness penetration. Now, that is heavy armor, but it's not massive armor. So we only need 1 point in heavy armor training to use it. Until then, we'll put this one on. Massive defense, which is nice, 23, and then 40 life. This one really doesn't give us anything except for 2 life regain, but it's better than nothing. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go buy our heavy armor training and see if we can actually use it. Let's see if I got the stats right for it. I've started doing similar hotkeys across all games. It's a nice habit. Like my World of Warcraft, I try to keep. Actually, my World of Warcraft setup is my tome setup. Alright, looking for martial training. Please train me in generic weapons and armor usage. Yes, we can. Alright, at level 1, it allows you to wear heavy mail armor, gauntlets, helms, and heavy boots. So we can put Cure Ripper on, and it's better. Better for damage, and it's got some life on it, which is good. The other one had more life, but oh well. Healing infusion, regeneration infusion. No, we've already got one of those. So let's check it out over here. Movement infusion at cooldown 8. That's about as good as it's going to get. Regeneration infusion at 322 with cooldown 14, which is also extremely good at this point in the game. I don't like infusion wilds. They're just not, they're not useful for me, so I don't use them. I always put my mana surge rune, if I'm going to use one, below my movement one. It's not on a hotkey that I use ever. I want to purposely click on it so I don't waste a turn using it. Alright, we've got shielding rune. Man, what is it with all these decent runes? Shatter Afflictions rune, that I do like. As a debuff clearer, it's just much better than a wild. But I don't have any room for it, I don't think. What we're going to do is, there's a lot of these trees that I want to open, but you can't even get the final spell until level 22. So we'd be level 20 before we even got there anyway, which is when we'll get another one. Plus, look at all this stuff that we have to get. We just have too much stuff that we need to get, so we're going to go Inscription at level 10. And honestly, I don't think there's a better choice, because you just have too much stuff to get your base build going. Alright, how do we want to do this? We're not level 12 yet, so we can't get Lord of Skulls. But we need to be, what level are we? We're level 10, so in 2 levels, we need to be right here. So the next 2 levels will go to these two. Let's go Chill of the Tomb. Let's just keep getting it up to, I think I might stay at 4 out of 5, because we're only getting 16 damage out of it and 1 more radius. 1 more radius is nice, but seriously, at 6 radius, it's doing fine. I mean, look at that. That's insane. Always get the Elixir of Foundations, because that's what we want. And then if you find the Hermit, then you need the Elixir of... Oh my god, I don't even remember. Elixir of Foundations and Elixir of Personal Growth? I don't remember what it is. Heroic Hardened Leather Gloves. This is good. 45 life and 5 armor. I do have enough money to buy it, but I don't know if I actually need to. No, because mine has 60 mana on it, which is not as good, but it's still good. Do we still have my boots? I must have gotten rid of them. Resilient Cloak, 31 life. So we probably want that. Yes, we do. Oh wow, that's a lot of stats, but no, we don't need that. Too expensive. This has got spell crit chance, which I really like, but not this early on. This is a really decent one. It's got spell crit on it and a lot of resistances, but it's just not for us. Alright, I think I have everything that I want to get here. Yep, we do. Okay, so that's where we're going to leave it off for now. Holy cow, we went way past time. I'm going to do another one right after this, just because I haven't played Tome'ing in a while, and I'm still pretty hyped starting the new Necromancer. So, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit like, maybe subscribe if you want to see more of it. I do have this awesome friggin' thing coming up. It's awesome for me. I think everybody else is going to think it's stupid, but I've looked for it on YouTube for something like it, and I just have never found a good one. So that will be coming up within the next few days. Like, it's going to be awesome. It's epic, and there's no way that I'll be able to finish it, but it's not the kind of thing that you can finish. So if you want to come along for the ride, just seriously wait. It's going to be awesome. So we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.